Greetings and welcome to smartwatchtics.com. You know, every once in a while you come across a watch that, well, it just tickles your fancy. And this one, we're looking at a C26. The best I can tell, it's kind of unbranded. This one really meets that for me. I love this watch. This has become a go-to watch that I keep by the nightstand, and it's something I wear when I want a watch to take outside. I'll tell you all about it. It's a beautiful little module. Look at the colors on this. Got some covers over the little film over the back of the sensors. Here's a screen protector you can put on it. It's a nice shape, nice design, and it comes to us from AliExpress. Now, this is a brand new company, MAEONER, MAEONER, MAEONER Mi official store on AliExpress is selling this one, and it pretty much, this is the source for it. It's a $30 watch. It's really amazing. It's AMOLED, it's Bluetooth calling, nice loud speaker, and my favorite thing of all is the always-on displays. It's got two really great ones. That's what I wear it for, just a watch, and all the other stuff is great too. This is the same thing, a little bit more money if you want to get it with an extra band. This is a camo band, and they also have a nylon band. I'm going to show you all of them because they sent it all out so you could decide which band you want too. It's a 1.96 actually. They call it 2-inch military, meaning it's hardened to a lot of specifications like some of the ones we've reviewed in the past. You can definitely get this one dirty and wet and all kinds of stuff. Again, AMOLED screen, 410 by 502 resolution, rectangular format, 400 milliamp hour battery. A depth waterproofing of 1 ATM. That's pretty much like an IP68. You can drop it in water, you can move it a little in water. You're probably not going to swim a lot with it, dive with it. It's not a 5 ATM watch, but it is waterproof. So as long as you're okay with just casual water, that's fine. Lots of different exercise modes, walking, running, climbing, and so forth. These are built into the watch. You've got message call alerts for your typical stuff, phone, SMS, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. You set all that stuff up between the app and the watch so that can be pushed over. It's got weather built into it. You can get weather data. It's got 6 built-in watch faces and a downloadable face, and there's a nice watch face store in the app itself that you can choose that extra face from. Lots of different functions. I'll just show them here. We're going to be going through these. The different languages are listed here that the watch works with. Now, as we continue the unboxing, it ships in its basic form with a nice black rubberized band. It's got lots of interesting design characteristics to it, lots of holes making it quite useful. It's got this little section up here, you see this on some bands, where the first one of these loops goes in here and then the other one's adjustable. So when you have it on, and you'll see that, you can like hook it underneath here and it's not going to come off on you. Very nice. And of course, the obligatory charging wire. These things are electrical. They need to be charged. It's a 2-pin magnetic couple. Very sturdy, strong charging wire on it. Doesn't take long to charge it, and it holds battery life for a long time, even with the always-on display, which is great. Lots of languages on the user's manual. It's up here at the top. You've got the charging guide, the app download. It's using FitCloud Pro, I believe, and we've reviewed that quite a bit in the past already. How you bind it, more information on it. Now you have an audio setup, and this is a little tricky, guys. When you first hook it up, it'll do the phone calling, but it won't play the audio through the watch unless you go into the audio setup and actually turn that on, and that's on the watch. So don't miss that. You're going to want to watch that part of the review here. Dial settings available for you, functions, all the different things that it'll record and transfer over to the app. It'll do sleep monitoring, heart rate monitoring. You got the active sports mode, blood oxygen in this one. Again, all these biometrics you need to check with your own body on whether or not they are accurate. We're all unique and different, so make sure that it works for you. Weather, music control will work with playing, pausing, and changing the volume on the phone, and the music will come out of the phone unless you turn the audio switch on in the watch, which then directs you back to the sound to come out of the watch. Couple of FAQs there, and that is it for the manual. Let's put it together and play with it. I really like these orange highlights on this one. A very nice accent. Press on the power button, give it a moment, and still waiting. There it is, vibration, and instantly comes into its first watch face. Now, this is the custom watch face that I decided to download from the store to install because it has a lot of active buttons on it. All these things are functional. You'll see some of the other faces in just a moment. When we slide down, we get a whole control panel here where we got control over the brightness. And this, you just touch it and it gets brighter and brighter. There's full brightness. Look at that. Outdoors, AMOLED. It's going to be beautiful, easy to see. Come back here, you. Touch it again. You're down to the lowest level, and you can adjust it wherever you like. We'll run it about in the middle for the review. It actually is 12 noon. Usually you just reboot a watch and it'll start at 12. We happen to start the review at 12. There's there it is. There's the always on face, which I'm going to show you more detail on in a minute. We've got a built-in music player right here from the controls. Do not disturb. This is your power savings. If you want to go into that, you can, and extend the battery life even longer. When you're paired to the phone and you have the Bluetooth calling connected, this will light up. And it's here, guys. That you touch it to turn on media audio as well. This is known as the C26 when you're looking for it in your Bluetooth hookup. This is your settings, information about the watch, which tells you even more. And then, of course, find your phone right here will ring your phone. That's all of these controls, battery level and your connectivity. We're going to go into the settings, show you can change the menu style to a few different ones. We're doing the text style, so it makes it easier to monitor everything. Display, where you can go in and change your watch faces. So that's the downloadable one, which you can get rid of if you want to. Here's another one. We'll just go through all of them because they're really great. Look at these faces. Really, really nice. Back into settings, back into display, watch faces, or we could long press on the face and change them that way. Here's a nice, clean digital face right here. Yeah. That is really easy, bright to see outdoors. Makes it very easy to get around and do whatever you're doing. Here's another one with an analog and digital, some animation, and your basic data that you get from walking and heart rate and such. Another all digital one. They've taken advantage of the aspect ratio on this watch to give you really robust full display. A nice Technicolor watch face there. And then there's the custom one that we downloaded earlier. And I'll leave it on that because I can walk you through some of the stuff with it as well. Back to settings, display. That was the watch faces. We've seen brightness. Your screen time, you can go all the way up to 30 seconds or as low as 5 seconds. Not an always on mode for the watch itself, but the always on is for the ambient display or the special display, which when we go back in here, it should twist your wrist to see the time. You can turn that, or this is the actual how long it will be when you twist your wrist. In the app, you can set that all up and even set the time you want it to happen. Here's the always on clock. Now you saw briefly the analog one. I'm going to show you the digital one here. We'll come back to the watch face and turn the watch off. And that is what the digital always-on display looks like. And it's really nice. Good, bright, date, time. What else could you want, right? Come back in here. Let's get back into our settings. Display, always-on clock, analog. Now, this is the one I really, really like because it adds a spot of color. It really is sweet. You've got the color numbers. You got the digits. It's a good brightness. It's not too bright at night, and it's not too dim in the daylight. Yeah, you can't see it in bright sunlight, but you can read it outdoors. And this is the main reason I'm really smitten for this one, is that particular watch face combination. Just wearing this as a watch is great. It's really, really great. And I just let it run day, night, whatever. It's great. And just grab it when I need it. Of course, you can't slide down or do anything because it's in its ambient mode. You can twist your wrist and activate it and get back into everything. So that's one of the main features of this one, is that always on clock. Battery savings mode, again, it shows you what your current level is, and you can put it into low power mode. You have vibration intensity and the languages. We showed you those on the information sheet, but just to confirm, here are the supported languages in the watch from within the watch, so you know what those are. The QR code for downloading the app, but again, we recommend you go straight to the Google Play Store or use a link in the show notes to get over there and download it through Google and Apple. This is fun. You can change what happens when you click or when you long press the bottom button. Right now, clicking it turns the watch off, which puts it into the always on mode. I like that. You can do the long press and do a workout, or you can change that, I think, to anything that you would like. No function if you want to, turn off the screen. Heart rate, if you do that. Music player, if that's what you want to do. Your voice assistant, look, you can set it there, long press. In fact, I think I'll just change it to that because I'd use that more. Stopwatch, ladies, you can set up your period tracking. Remote camera button, if you take a lot of pictures and you want to use your watch to trigger it and be incognito, not make it look like you're doing anything with your watch, just long press, bring it up, take your picture, you're done. So all of these, and switch it to voice assistant, and now anytime I long press the bottom button, it should go into the voice assistant. And there it is. I press that, speak, transfers it to the phone, does its interrogation of Google or Siri, and speaks the results back out of the watch. This is a sweet one. I really like this one. We were in that said, you can set the time. You can set a password for the watch if you want to, and your overall system gives you that same system info we saw: shut down, restart, reset, all of those typical things you find in here. And that's all of the system level stuff. We're ready to go through the watch now in terms of its functions. Notwithstanding that all of these things are active, you still can go around the side and get your basic step count data, showing you your steps per hour and last 7 days of information. So robust data fields in this watch. You don't just have to go to the app for it. Here's your continuous heart rate with an actual scale, your high and your low, and heart rate zones, and your average heart rate are here. And of course, it's attempting to get a heart rate right now. If I just covered those diodes, you'd be able to do that. This is last night's sleep time, and it shows you the last 7 days of sleep, so you can kind of compare how you're doing. In the app, you get a lot more information, of course, on the breakout of all of that. Here's weather, giving you the forecast, temperature, centigrade or Fahrenheit. You can change all of that if you want to. The upcoming forecast information is there, as long as you're paired to the watch. Also, it's showing you the time. If you happen to be on this and wonder what time it is, all of these are also including the time. Now we get to check out the speaker. This is the integrated music player, and it's tied to Bluetooth connection, and I do have the audio turned on. So here's a sampling of YouTube music for us. Hit the play button, and there you go. Where's our speaker on this one? Here it is, way back underneath there. I can't really cover it on this one without taking the band off. But clean, rich. Hear the bass? Hear the treble? Nice. And of course you can change the volume, change tracks, whatever you'd like to do. So the way it handles music is, it's really nice. And your phone calls will sound decent on this one as well. And of course the other party can hear you clearly because the microphone's really well done too. And then the way this watch is set up at the moment, one more swipe gets you into all of your activities, walking, running, cycling. No GPS directly in this $30 watch, but you can tie, of course, into your app and use the integrated connection there. And that's it. Tap here, you're back over here. Slide this way now, you get the time. You can make a phone call, your weather, and your most recent apps. And when you slide up, you're getting any messages pushed to you from the phone. Now, finally, we take a look at the apps themselves. We tap this button. You've got your phone, contacts, call records, voice assistant, all that we've kind of taken a brief look at. This is how you'd make and receive your calls. Data is your step count information from that tile that we already saw. There's your workouts again, and workout records appear here. If you have any, you could tap on that and get the data from the particular activity that you did. Heart rate, probably a good time to put the watch on, just to show you and get some of these biometrics going. Now, tighten it up, and here's what I was talking about, that loop, the first one. I can slide the second one back over, and this one will stay in that position. And you don't get two of them bunched up or one of them falling out. Heart rate, just simply tap it. And of course, that's the size of the digits that you'll get. And it's doing the continuous heart rate in the background. Last night's sleep, there's blood pressure. Now, we didn't have a card for this. So when you're in here, it's showing you your most recent readings, the last 7 times, your average, and when you touched it, it starts and it'll get your systolic and diastolic, and it's using green diodes down there. Don't know if you can see all of that. Blood oxygen now. This is another reading that you're getting, basically the same kind of information, showing you your zone, the last 7 readings, and when you tap it to activate it, it's using the more advanced red diode technology on this one. And that's in there. Messages, weather, ladies, where you are in your cycle. When you set that up in the app, it'll inform you on the watch. You can do breath training, inhale, exhale to relax and calm down. You got an integrated stopwatch in here. And as we usually do, we'll start it and see if we can leave it. Can we go? No. We can pause it. We can leave it when we pause it. When we come back in, it's still there. But there's no way to actually leave it and leave it running in the background. That's all right. Some of them you can do that, which is kind of nice. Countdown timers are here, alarm clock and so forth. Calculator. This is a nice one. Let's try that again. Get something and then do a division. I usually do that so that I can see the decimals and stuff. There you go. Really good overall result. White against black should be readable outside, and nice big digits on it too. Basic calendar shows you the current date and then the overall month date. And I guess we got a punch to get out of there. Then your remote camera and overall settings, and we already looked at the settings, right? So from this screen, I can tap here and get my heart rate. I can tap here and go into my running exercises. Here I could go into the settings and make any changes to settings and so forth. Up here, I can get into the weather. So this particular watch face, I love this one. You got a nice digital time and all these active buttons. Now the app for pairing this watch is FitCloud Pro, and they've got an active update waiting for me. And one lesson I've learned is you want to make sure you synchronize your watch to your phone and get all the data off of it before you do an update to the app, because sometimes it wipes out the information on the watch. So I'm not going to update it now. There's just some bug fixes. What I am going to do is switch over to the app as if that were the open button, and we'll play with it. Now, when you've set up an account and you've got everything going and you've connected it to your watch, you'll land in the home page and you'll see all of this information. Your overall step count, much bigger graph that shows you by hour, and you've got your basic steps, distance, calories burned, and so forth, and any goals that you may have set. You can do it today, weekly, monthly, so forth. Then you get your last night's sleep time, this kind of a gray-looking chart that shows you when you tap on it that amount of time between the actual time it started and ended of that particular zone. and the breakdown down here of all of your sleep. Then you've got heart rate, blood pressure, and blood oxygen. And you can do a health measurement on here, one button tap, and it'll do each of these all at the same time in about 90 seconds. If you want to go individually, here you go. There's the current or most recent heart rate. You can activate it remotely from the phone as long as you're within Bluetooth tethering distance. And these are the most recent measurements we've taken on this. Actually, these are the days, right? And this is today. And when I go into today, you can get the overall chart, or yesterday, the overall heart rate chart on here. You can change it from here, or you can select it from here to get more fine data. Same kind of thing with blood oxygen, blood pressure. Here's the readings, and only took one. You're not getting the continuous blood oxygen or blood pressure, but you get the individualized readings as a little dot, and blood pressure is here. Systolic over diastolic. That's a little low for me, so I'd recommend, if it doesn't look right for you, to make sure you check it with a calibrated cuff to see if the readings are representative of you. Now this is giving us more of a continuous blood pressure reading in here. It looks like the charts are going across. Yeah, systolic over diastolic. At any particular time, you can see what that actual reading was at that time, just touching the chart. And that's your biometrics readings here and your step count. Come over to device. The C26 is what we're using. You got push notifications, all these things that you can turn on, turn off, raise to wake, automatic health monitor. We've reviewed this app a lot, so just scrolling through it for information. I do want to show you the dial library, give you an idea of some of the kinds of faces you can download for this particular model. Goes off and brings them in from a server. Because it's nice and rectangular, that one's already installed as a stock one. I recognize it. You have quite a few different ones, very colorful ones, analog, digital. And I was surprised to find the one that I downloaded actually had the active buttons in it that were integrated with the watch to take you off to those various different controls. So some of these other ones may do that as well. I know a lot of you guys just kind of buy your watches based on the watch faces you see that you like. And in a sense, that's what I'm doing with this one. I really like that always on analog display with the touch of color as well as the white hands and markers. So that's what I use it a lot for, is when I want a watch to just wear as a watch, not necessarily track everything. But it does do that tracking for those this might be their only watch. Yeah, look at that. Just keeps on going. Anyway, plenty different dials in the dial center. My dial is where any of them that you download will appear, and that's one of them right there. Okay, and then finally the Me button. That takes you into your account, lets you set up the women's health thing if you want to for tracking of a period. There's your units. You can change all of that stuff. There's where you can get your temperature in Celsius. And you can tie in with Google Fit, Health Connect, We Run, and so forth. And then basic settings for the app itself. Now, I mentioned we got different bands. Here's the camo band on this one. And looks nice and attractive. And, of course, you can pick out different watch faces to integrate with it. It is a sporty watch, so a camo band goes great with it, especially with it being ruggedized the way it is. And you can pick it up with the nylon band as well, and I really like this one. That's how I'm going to wear it. It's a Velcro connection. You just pop it off your wrist that way, pop it on, tighten it up. These little spots anchor it down. Of course, you can make it as tight or loose as you want to, and it gives it a really nice sporting look to it. And this one, of course, you can get wet, so yeah, really easy. So once again, this is a C26, the best I can tell of the model number, but it doesn't appear anywhere. So in this case, I highly recommend you use the link I got in the show notes for you and take you over to the AliExpress MAEONER Mi official store. and pick this one up for under $30. May even have coupon discounts for you to take it a little bit lower. That's the single band comes with it. You can get it with the camo band or the nylon band. I don't see a way to get it with both, but it's a couple of bucks more. So choose your band, whether you want the extra nylon one or whether you're into the camo. And of course, you'll get the black band that comes with it. That's it, guys. I'm really smitten with this one. That's a really fun watch. It does a lot of great things. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.